In recent years, there has been a large inflow of migrants from around the world to Chicago. Among these, many are refugees seeking a better life away from dangerous circumstances. These migrants face massive struggles to adapt to a new country and support themselves. Without assistance, it would be nearly impossible for them to thrive. However, some organizations and individuals have risen to support these migrants. Among these, Refugee Community Connection. Refugee Community Connection was started by Nan Warshaw and others in 2017 to assist refugees coming to the Chicago area. A small group of volunteers dedicated their time and effort to ensure that refugees with special immigration visas from Afghanistan were assisted as much as possible. However, in 2019, due to geopolitical concerns, large numbers of refugees, especially from Afghanistan and South America, began arriving in the Chicago area. Many were subsequently sent to Chicago by the Texas Governor Greg Abbott. According to the City of Chicago, since August 2022, 42,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago. RCC started growing larger in size, as many volunteers joined from all over Chicago to assist these new waves of newcomers. Now, the RCC Facebook group has over 14,000 members, some occasionally donating an item while others devoting their lives to running free stores, recruiting welcome groups, being sewing coordinators, bike coordinators, immigration lawyers, and more.
Refugee Community Connection is a mutual aid group, and so we are not set up as a nonprofit, but that also means that we don't have the bureaucracy of many nonprofits, and we're not a government agency, we're not a resettlement agency, but we fill the gaps and needs not met by those traditional organizations. And so we look for, or those gaps find us, and we try to fill those needs.
Nan Warshaw co-founded RCC after the 2016 elections in order to bring more compassion to our community. What motivates the volunteers? Many volunteers do this work for the joy of helping others and found the way they can make a difference in the refugees' lives is highly rewarding. Many volunteers can connect to the refugees because they themselves are family members or immigrants. According to Laura DeBolt, the best part of assisting immigrants is the way they let you into their lives.
But people, they invite you into their lives. They invite you into, like I said, their kids' birthday parties, their weddings, their joy at getting a job, their joy at a family member who's now arrived, safely through the jungle, which that's a whole nother set of issues. But people invite you into their lives, which also you're invited into the lives for often the very bad moments, and that's hard.
Yeah.
But people they share their joy when things are going well for them with you.
She just donated items. However, she realized the major lack of legal resources that refugees had. She used her legal background to assist them. Now, she works to ensure that refugees receive proper legal assistance in getting work permits, protective status, and other legal conditions. She has been working with RCC since the very beginning. Liz Reeves is the RCC bike coordinator. She handles requests for bikes and finds bike donations and repairs. Bikes are very important for refugees because they allow for free transportation to schools and work, and also leisure. Linda Vituis is RCC's sewing machine coordinator. Many immigrants are accustomed to sewing their own clothes and can sometimes use a sewing machine to help make a living. Linda finds great joys when the refugees she helps show her what they have made.
Bikes are so important for these refugees. They don't have much money, and even a bus pass is a lot of money, especially if you don't have a job yet. So a bike provides free transportation wherever they need to go. They can go get groceries, they can go to a job interview, they can get to a job. For kids, they can get to and from school much more quickly. And then just also, it's nice to just have some fun, to be able to take your kids out to the park and ride around and get some exercise. There's a lot of stress for these refugees. So to be able to just have some fun on a bike for kids is I think, a great thing.
The most basic way that Refugee Community Connection helps refugees is by providing basic household items such as furniture, kitchen items, clothes, and so on. Many volunteers help by donating their own items, buying new or used items, or looking for donations on their behalf. Others help staff the 4 free stores where donations are collected and refugees can get items they need. Linda, for example, held a garage sale to raise funds for the refugees. A much more time-involved way these refugees are helped is adoption, where one or more volunteers helps the refugee family, handling their donations and ensuring that their needs are met. As the refugees live their lives, they must adapt to the United States and get housing, find a job, educate their children, learn English, and go through the legal process to gain the required documents and status. RCC helps the refugees in ways more than material, seeking jobs for adults and learning resources/schools for children. For example, volunteers post examples of job skills that refugees have, and others on Facebook group will help provide leads. RCC also heard from refugees with family members trapped in Afghanistan when the Taliban took over, and NAN and others made efforts to inform the U.S. government that they should be rescued. Overall, Refugee Community Connection has done a wonderful job ensuring that refugees in Chicagoland have everything they need. Its thousands of diligent volunteers work together to achieve their goals. How can you help refugees or other groups in your community?